Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. What's up, Sooner Nation? Happy Sunday. You can see there on the bottom, Sooner Surge Unlimited. You can be a part of that by joining up, being part of the Discord server, being a member, $4.99 a month. A lot of content coming your way, a lot of special things coming your way. Be a part of what's going on at the Sooner Surge community. Right now, we're going to talk about, if you've been on Twitter, you've seen Danny Okoye has officially announced his commitment date of September 20th, going to happen there at Core Society there in Bixby, Oklahoma. Also via his Instagram Live, 6 p.m. or 6:30, September 20th. But we also saw yesterday officially announced his top three. It was what really I think everyone thought it was going to be originally, and then there were some questions after that posted went out, not by him. So OU, Tennessee, and Texas. And then something interesting a few hours ago, he tweeted out, may have changed my mind after last night, I think, or something like that, watching that game. Now, was he talking about the Texas-Bama game? Was he talking about the great defense OU played? It was very vague and generic there. So I don't know, guys. What's everyone's thoughts and feelings with about 10 days from the commitment of Danny Okoye?
Well, Okoye originally, he kind of made the questions on that top three that was tweeted out, not by Danny, saying, I think he said it's coming soon, might shock some people. Obviously, it didn't. But that was very much a troll tweet to kind of just throw people off on what's going on in his recruitment there following the OU visit. You had all those crystal balls. Yeah, you're going to try to drum it up. That's smart by him. To try to throw people off because everyone's like, it's OU. You see all this long line of crystal balls get thrown in right after the OU visit and the 73-0 win over Arkansas State. And he kind of just made those comments. Nothing came of it. The comments from last night, I think we'd all be idiots to not assume they are about Texas's 10-point win in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. Alabama was in his top six. That was a team he was considering pretty heavily. Went and camped there, had a really good camp back in July, the Nick Saban football camp. So, yeah, I'm sure he's talking about Texas. As of now, he has the Texas visit scheduled. This commitment date is interesting. He has a Tennessee visit scheduled for September 30th. If he's a Sooner, that visit will not be happening. Brent Venables' visit policy prohibits a visit to another school while committed to the University of Oklahoma. So that's interesting because Tennessee, Danny's the first to tell you, they show the most love to them and OU. They're up there. So it's interesting to kind of cut down the decision before getting the chance for the game day visit. I know when we talked to him back in, what was it? That was middle of July. I think it was a week before Party at the Palace visit. And he said game day visits were what was going to probably determine the outcome of his recruitment. Yeah. So to not get that, to likely not get that official visit to Tennessee is interesting there.
And I think Tennessee, with him announcing this date, I'm not sure Tennessee's in the picture, guys. Me personally, that's a personal opinion that I have, and I like to base things on what you see with words that are used. And the other thing is, whether or not, I mean, it's interesting that he's setting this date before going to Texas. I think that's a little bit interesting too. So to me, he either knows what he wants to see at Texas before he commits, and he knows that maybe he's going to see that, or he's really already set maybe on OU. I don't know, but I do know if you watched that game last night, and there was speculation, maybe Danny Okoye is not going to make the trip with his football team to St. Louis, and he's going to be in attendance there at OU. We have no confirmation that he was at the game last night, but I'm sure he watched it and probably toggled back between OU, SMU, and Texas, Alabama. But OU also put on a great defensive performance, and that was something he said on the pod with us, was he's really wanting to see OU kind of take that step. I think they did that last night, and that's another good thing you can put kind of feather in the cap there for the Sooners, Jay.
Yeah, SMU is probably the second best offense OU will face all year. The only at least in the regular season play. The only better offense should be Texas and Dallas. So another great performance from the defense. I noticed a very good performance from the defensive ends. That's what Danny's going to play at OU. That's what he's going to be watching. Trace Ford had a really good game. Rondell Mothroyd as well. Again, sacks were limited. I think it was 0 because Ethan Downs one was
one Stutzman.
Okay, yeah, Stutzman.
Stutzman got one.
And then the Downs won the penalty. So, and again, last week it was the same thing. Ethan Downs had one sack, and that was it. But when I talked to Danny last week, he was talking about how much he was impressed with the defense. He said this is what he expected. He said he was wrong for cutting off Oklahoma after the 6 and 7 season. And I mean, obviously I think he's pretty glad that he reopened his recruitment because he knew the improvements were going to happen. And then to see it, Arkansas State's one thing. They're not a great football team. That's just the truth. But to be able to play the way Oklahoma did is impressive. And then to play a very good offense, probably a top 15 offense in the country in SMU, hold them to 11 points. Danny Okoye is going to be watching that. He's also going to be was watching, I'm sure, Texas, Alabama last night.
Yeah, that's right. And this improvement from the defense is not only going to catch Okoye's eyes, but it also probably helped with guys like Nigel Smith as well, right? He saw that week 1 performance. He was like, hey, okay, there is some improvement here, right? I know it was Arkansas State, but to shut him out, that really left an impression on not only 2024 guys, but potentially 2025 guys as well. And then I agree that this could be something that maybe it's shocking that he announced his date before the Texas official visit, right? Because Texas, they came off a win versus Alabama. Wait, what? Hunter, I see you nodding your head.
Did you say he's announcing before he visits Texas?
The date.
Oh, yeah, he announced his date.
Okay. Yeah, okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I just find that shocking, in which it's like, Jeremy, I think you said it, that either he knows what he wants to do, or he basically has cut his list down to OU and Texas, and he knows what he wants to see out of Texas in order for him to know that, hey, Texas is where I want to be. But I think even OU, the ground they've made up since April has been impressive. And I think if they land Okoye, it would just be huge to keep such an elite in-state defensive lineman home.
Yeah, to me, a lot of things are very interesting on this recruitment. I think Danny, we all know after his visit to Oklahoma, he was very happy. It was a great visit, right? And I think we even talked about last week. Was it a visit high? Was he really loving OU at this point, right? And here's what I find interesting. He originally said he may go till November, or at least mid to late October, right? He's pushed it up. Tells me one of two things. First off, if you are going to pick between OU Texas, why not wait till after Red River rivalry game? Right? I mean, to me, I think his mind's already made up. I think date set, and we've talked to other recruits about this, and I've asked them the question: do you set a commitment date and then pick your school, or do you pick a school and then you say I'm ready to commit? I think with Danny, he's picked his school. I think he's ready to commit. That's just my opinion. I think he's picked his school. I think he knows where he's going. Yeah. And I think right now I'm feeling pretty good as an OU fan personally. Yeah, and I'm going to pose this question before we get off here, guys, to each one of you. I'm with you, Jay. I'm in the same boat that I think OU should be feeling good about this, and that he probably in his mind knows. But as he's going, if he's going to take that visit to Texas, what is it that Danny Okoye would be maybe looking for out of Texas, maybe that he hasn't been able to get from OU, Hunter and Jackson?
What I'm interested in that Texas visit is when I talked to him back in July again, he was telling me how the Texas official visit for their, I forget what they called it. I think it was the weekend of Party at the Palace for OU. Danny Okoye was in Austin for their big recruiting weekend. He said it was the most fun he had on a visit. So I do think it will be interesting if he does take that Texas visit, what the visit is like outside of the game day aspect of the visit. If there's events planned to try to woo him into, changing his mind if his mind's already made up, or trying to gain ground, because I think everyone knows right now OU looks to be the clear leader. I mean, you don't have that many crystal balls roll in following a visit, even though it could be a post-visit high, like Jay mentioned. Some of it probably was, but I mean, pretty much everyone made that decision. And Okoye wasn't a guy where there was predictions already placed on him. He was very much known. He's going to take these 3 visits that he had locked in when he had released his top 6 to kind of determine everything. And then the OU visit happened, and that all kind of changed. So I'm going to be interested to see if the Texas visit does happen. I'm thinking it does. Haven't heard anything to say otherwise. There's been no word from Danny on if visits have been canceled, anything like that. But just how Texas is going to be able to kind of do that visit outside of just the game day atmosphere against Wyoming.
Jackson, anything to add to that?
No, I just think it'll be interesting to see maybe if his mindset has changed on Texas as a potential national championship team after their win versus Alabama. That's what I'll be interested
Hey,
to.
I shouldn't interrupt. I just have to say something. I think the Texas love. Hey, I picked them yesterday to beat Alabama, but guys, I don't know how good Alabama is. They have quarterback issues.
Yeah, regardless, we're going to find that out as the year progresses. But in the end, I'm under the don't want to say assumption, because I think it's based on pretty good facts, that I don't think anyone can have as tight, close relationship as Coach Chavis and some of the OU staff does with Danny Okoye being in the backyard. Okay, that's one thing. Second of all, everything he wanted to see improve at OU has, right? And we know that he had a great visit. So, I think things are looking great for Danny Okoye. The power line could be increased even more. A week from Wednesday, when he announces they're in Bixby, we're going to plan on having someone there live to get that feed for us. So you guys make sure you're a part of what's going on at the Sooner Surge. Join up, subscribe, be a member, and we'll make sure we provide that content to you. Till next time, guys. Boomer.